on using the TI Nspire calculator to check your answers and to find where two lines intersect and to find x and y intercepts. We're going to start with a warm-up of some previous material. So warm-up time again. Find the x and y intercepts of the following. So notice that it's kind of like not in the regular gradient intercept form, but even if it was, this is a good way to do it. So you can kind of just start to set up the table. So x-intercept, y-intercept, x-intercept, y-intercept. Remember at the x-intercept, what's the value of y? Always, it's always equal to 0. At the y-intercept, what's the value of x? It's always equal to 0. Same for this other one. And then you just substitute y equals 0 into the equation and solve for x. So with this, we substitute x equals 0 into that equation to solve for y. So notice I'll do them both at the same time if you want. I've just subbed in y equals 0. So when you might want to actually just pause and try to solve it yourself first, because you've probably done a few of these by now. So feel free to pause and solve, and then just quickly check your answers afterwards. So pause now. So hopefully you've paused and you've tried it yourself first, then you can check you're working out. So hopefully you got 6, 0 for the x-intercept and 0, 6 for the y-intercept. And for the other graph, the other line, I hope you got 3, 0 for the x-intercept and 0, negative 6. If you didn't, you might want to pause and just look at my working out, my reasoning behind my answers before you move on. Then you're asked to sketch these two lines by first plotting their x and y intercepts. So notice that I kind of did that. So let's scroll down so you can see the graph. So what I did for the first line, which I did in green, I plotted the x-intercept. So notice I plotted a point here, 6, 0. I plotted the y-intercept, 0, 6. And then I just drew a nice line through both of those. So I ruled a line through them. It's also a good idea to label your equation, label your line. So this was the equation for that line, which as you can see, I got that from up here. That's where it came from. Then now I'm going to do this line in red. So 2y, the x-intercept was 3, 0. So here's my x-intercept. The y-intercept was 0, negative 6. And then I just drew a line through that. And as I said, a good idea to label your lines. That's important. So that's done. Now part B is done. Part C is just, hence, use your graph to find the coordinates of the points where the two lines intersect. So here's line 1, here's line 2. What are the coordinates of this point right here where they intersect? So what's its x coordinate? That's right, it's 4. What's its y coordinate? That's right, it's 2. So again, it's graphing method for finding the for finding the intersection point is pretty rough. So you write just down your answer 4, 2. If you want, put an arrow just pointing out where you got it from. That's okay too. So this is just a little recap on the graphing method. So you find the x and y intercepts of both lines, plot them, connect them up, and find the coordinates of where they cross. Now on this one we're going to revise. Remember, back to recap, locate your old Are You Not Yet Inspired activity sheet from the beginning of Year 10, Term 1. You'll need it to answer the following. So if you haven't done that already, you might want to pause and look in your binder to find the worksheet, Are You Not Yet Inspired, from earlier on in Term 1. So hopefully you've done that now. So this was a question on that sheet. You're asked to graph the two functions and find the coordinates of the point of intersection. So this is showing you another method you can use, other than the graphing method on the previous page. You can use the Nspire to find the point of intersection. Radio. So 0.375 and 0.125 is the answer, but how did we get that? So I would say you write down whatever you did in your Are You Not Yet Inspired sheet. I can also show you how I would do it, which maybe is similar, who knows. So, oops, let's get that back. Just 1 second. Okay. Come back. Here it is. Great. So we want to, I just go to home, we want to do a graph. So I'm going to select the graph. My first equation was y equals 3x minus 1. So fx just means y equals. So 3x is the x down here. Subtract 1. And you graph it if you want. You can just press the downward arrow. See, there it is. Awesome. But I want to graph a second one. So so you notice it's offering me to graph a second one now. Negative 5x plus 2 this time. Just press the downward arrow. There they are. So to find the point of intersection, so remember we tend to go menu and analyze graph. Menu, analyze graph. This is one method. You might have found that tracing does it as well, but I'll show you the analyzing graph method. So at menu, analyze graph. Guess what we're looking for? That's right, we're looking for the intersection of those two. So notice it's asking for the lower bound, so just click somewhere to the left. Here's the intersection point. Click somewhere to the left of it. The lower bounds. Now it's asking for the upper bounds, so go somewhere to the right of the intersection. So see, we've crossed the intersection. Here's our answer, intersection here. So the x-coordinate is 0.375, the y-coordinate is 0.125. So you might want to pause and write down how you did that, or try it. Make sure you try it out yourself on the calculator. Did doing the trace also work? Let's see. Maybe menu, see the trace function. Trace, graph trace. So say if you arrow through, did it highlight when we hit the intersection? Let's see. See 0, that means the x-intercept, not the intersection. So no, it doesn't seem, oh, and the y-intercept, no, it doesn't seem to. So we need to use the analyze graph method. Fantastic. So you might want to pause and write down how you did that now. Okie dokie. The next question, I'll need to just scroll down a bit on here. You're asked to graph the function y equals 6x plus 7 and find the x and y intercepts. So you probably guessed already that the way you can do that is with the trace function. So first of all, let's still just practice graphing. So we're going to do a nice little graph, open a graph again. Y equals 6x plus 7, 6x plus 7. I just go downward arrow to graph it. We can see the x-intercept, we can't see the y-intercept though. So we're going to need to adjust a bit of stuff. So menu, where is it? Window zoom. I tend to go to zoom standard first. Zoom standard's a good little starting point. Can we see the y-intercept? It's a little bit iffy. So let's see, we can go to window zoom, window settings. I need my y-max to be a bit higher. So y-max, maybe I'll do it about 20 or something. Okay. So see, now I can see it. I've made the y-max go up to 20 instead of 6. So now I can see the x-intercept, I can see the y-intercept. Now to find out what their values are, you need to trace. So go to menu, trace, graph trace. And you use the arrows to go left and right. See, once you go left, it highlights the 0. So go left, you hit 0, and keep going to the right. So this, by the way, is the x-intercept. So x-intercept is, as you can see, negative 1.17. What is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is 7. So that's our answers there. Now you'll see there's some questions below. Now and again, pause and write your own instructions that make sense to you in this part. Now use the graphing function on your TI Nspire, like we did in the above examples, to find the coordinates of where the pairs of functions below meet. So this one, as you can see, what I'd like you to do is to try this one yourself. I'd like you to pause, try it yourself using the same method as what I did for this one above here, and then see what answer you get. Then pause, unpause, and check if you've got the same answer as me. Actually pause and do all of them. So do all of these questions now. Again, like I've kind of given you a hint here for this one, these are already in the form of y equals. For these ones, before you put them into the Nspire, you need to have them in the form of y equals first. So I've rearranged that to make y equals, rearranged that to make y equals, and then I'm putting that into the graphing calculator. So try these now, and then pause and check your answers are the same as mine.